The lecture hall buzzed with an electric tension that even the most seasoned interstellar diplomats found uncomfortable. Jay Park stood at the center of the massive circular chamber, his dark eyes scanning the assemblage of alien representatives from the Valara Confederation. The room itself was a marvel of galactic engineering, transparent walls that shifted colors with atmospheric changes, floating holographic interfaces, and seats designed to accommodate beings with wildly different anatomical structures. 12. Alien species sat in carefully arranged sections, their bodies a kaleidoscope of impossible shapes and colors. Some looked like crystalline structures with pulsing internal lights. Others resembled complex networks of tentacles and membrane-like appendages. Each had traveled countless light years to attend this unprecedented academic exchange. Hana Kim, Jay's research assistant, adjusted the primary holographic projector with precise movements. She wore a standard Earth diplomatic uniform, deep navy with subtle silver trim that caught the artificial lighting. Her fingers danced across the control panel, loading the first series of presentations about Earth's biological ecosystem. The lead alien diplomat, a being named Krell, had translucent skin that revealed a complex internal network of what appeared to be liquid-based neural pathways. Its body shifted colors subtly, a sign of emotional response that the human researchers had spent years trying to understand. Right now, Krellvor's form was a pale blue-green, indicating mild curiosity and slight apprehension. Representatives of the Valara Confederation, Jay began, his voice calm and measured. Today we will explore something many of you consider unremarkable, our home planet, Earth. A ripple of soft clicks and ultrasonic communications passed through the alien audience. Most galactic species viewed Earth as a primitive world, a classification that would soon be dramatically challenged. The first holographic image materialized, a sweeping landscape of dense forest transitioning into open grassland. To the alien observers, it seemed innocuous, just another planetary surface, but Jay knew better. What you're seeing, he continued, is not just a landscape, it's a battlefield, a constant arena of survival where every organism fights for existence. Krellvor's body shifted to a deeper shade of green, a sign of increasing interest. The alien leaned forward, multiple sensory appendages extending slightly. Hana moved between complex equipment, her movements precise and calculated. She understood the significance of this moment. This wasn't just a scientific presentation. This was humanity's first comprehensive demonstration of their planet's true nature to a galactic audience. The holographic display began to change. Images of various Earth environments flickered rapidly. Arctic tundras, scorching deserts, deep ocean trenches, dense rainforests. Each environment looked hostile, unforgiving, beautiful in its raw complexity. Some alien representatives started to communicate among themselves. Their communication methods varied. Some used light pulses, others emitted complex chemical signals, while a few used direct neural transmissions that created subtle electromagnetic disturbances in the lecture hall. Jay watched their reactions carefully. He had prepared this presentation for months, understanding that this was more than an academic exercise. This was a statement about humanity's origins, about the crucible that had forged their species. The first animal sequence was about to begin. A simple honey badger, barely 40 centimeters long, would be the first example of Earth's remarkable wildlife. Jay knew this small creature would be the first hint of the surprising revelations to come. As the holographic display prepared to show the first video, a sense of anticipation filled the room. 12 alien species, representatives of advanced civilizations that had explored thousands of star systems, sat on the edge of their specially designed seats. They were about to learn that Earth was not just another planet. It was a death world, and humanity was its most remarkable product. The holographic display flickered, casting a soft blue light across the lecture hall. Jay Park's finger touched a small control and the first video began to play. A honey badger, small and seemingly unremarkable, moved through a dry grassland environment. Krellvor and the other alien representatives leaned forward, their sensory appendages stretching with curiosity. They expected something mundane, a simple presentation about a small Earth creature. What they saw next would change everything. The honey badger, no larger than a house cat, suddenly encountered a group of predators that would typically dominate such an environment. Lions, massive, powerful creatures with razor-sharp teeth and muscles built for killing. Any other animal would retreat. Any other creature would run. The honey badger did not run. Instead, it stood its ground. More than that, it attacked. Gasps and clicks of surprise erupted from the alien audience. Tentacled beings shifted in their seats. Crystalline representatives pulsed with colors of confusion and disbelief. Hana Kim watched the monitors, a slight smile playing on her lips. She knew what was coming. The video showed the impossible. The tiny honey badger fought back against multiple lions. It didn't just defend itself. It went on the offensive, biting, clawing, moving with a ferocity that defied its size. The lions, massive predators that could crush most creatures, looked confused, uncertain. They had never encountered anything like this. Jay's voice remained calm, almost clinical. "This is a honey badger," he explained. "A small mammalian predator from the African continent of Earth. Weight, approximately 10 kilograms. Typical prey for larger predators." The alien representatives exchanged rapid communication signals. Their universal translators struggled to process the information. How could something so small demonstrate such complete lack of fear? The video continued. The honey badger fought with a fury that seemed to defy natural laws. It attacked lion after lion, moving with a speed and aggression that seemed impossible. The predators began to retreat, confused by this tiny creature that refused to understand the normal rules of survival. Krelvor's translucent skin shifted through multiple colors, a sign of extreme emotional processing. The lead alien representatives' neural pathways were working overtime, trying to comprehend what they were witnessing. Jay pressed another control. The scene changed. Now they saw a honey badger attacking a venomous snake, a creature that could kill most animals with a single bite. The badger was bitten multiple times. Any other creature would have died instantly. The honey badger continued fighting. "Our planet's creatures do not simply survive," Jay explained. "They fight. They adapt. They refuse to accept defeat." The alien audience sat in stunned silence. Their understanding of biological survival was being completely rewritten. Hana adjusted some technical controls, ensuring the holographic display remained stable. She knew this was just the beginning. The honey badger was merely an introduction to Earth's true nature. The video ended. For several moments, no one spoke. The alien representatives processed what they had seen. A small creature, completely outmatched, fighting with a fury that defied all expected survival strategies. Krelvor was the first to break the silence. Through the universal translator, the alien's communication came across as a mix of confusion and respect. "This creature, it does not understand defeat?" Jay nodded. "On Earth, understanding defeat means death. Our animals learn to fight, to survive, no matter the odds." The lecture hall hummed with a new energy. The aliens were no longer bored. They were no longer dismissive of Earth as a simple primitive planet. They were beginning to understand. This was just the first revelation. The holographic display shifted, revealing a new landscape, harsh, unforgiving. The screen showed the Australian outback, a terrain that looked more like a battlefield than a natural environment. J. Park's fingers moved across the control panel, each movement deliberate, calculated. The alien representatives leaned forward. After the honey badger presentation, their curiosity had transformed into something deeper. Anticipation mixed with a growing sense of unease. First appeared the saltwater crocodile, a creature that looked like it had survived unchanged since prehistoric times. Its skin was armor, its jaw a weapon of pure destruction. Krelvor's translucent body pulsed with a deep green color, a sign of intense concentration. "This creature," Jay explained, "can grow up to 7 meters long. It weighs over 1,000 kilograms. Its bite pressure is the strongest of any living. Animal on our planet. The video demonstrated the crocodile's hunting technique, absolute patience, absolute precision. It waited motionless for hours, looking like nothing more than a log in the water. Then, explosive movement, pure killing efficiency. Some alien students began to look uncomfortable. Their sensory appendages retracted slightly. The scene changed. Now a Komodo dragon appeared. Not a lizard, a living weapon. Hana Kim adjusted the holographic controls, ensuring perfect clarity. She knew what was coming would challenge everything. The aliens understood about biological survival. The Komodo dragon hunted. Its method was nightmare fuel for most creatures. A single bite contained a complex cocktail of deadly bacteria. Even if the initial attack failed, the victim would slowly die. Tracking, waiting, persistent. Our planet's predators do not just kill, Jay said calmly. They strategize, they plan. They understand patience as a hunting technique. Alien communication signals began to pulse rapidly. Confusion, fear, respect. The presentation continued. Deep-sea creatures appeared next. Organisms that survived in absolute darkness. Creatures that generated their own light. Predators that looked like they belonged in nightmares rather than biological classification. An anglerfish materialized on the screen. Female, larger than the male. The male literally fused to the female's body. A bizarre survival strategy that defied conventional reproductive understanding. Krelvor's neural pathways visibly pulsed. The alien representative's communication translator struggled to process the biological information. Jellyfish that could potentially live forever. Tardigrades that could survive in space. Organisms that existed in temperature extremes that would obliterate most known life forms. Earth is not just a planet, Jay continued. It is a testing ground. A continuous battlefield where only the most adaptable survive. The alien audience now sat in complete silence. Their previous understanding of biological life was crumbling. Hana noticed some alien representatives had started recording the presentation. Others were sending emergency communication bursts to their homeworlds. A platypus appeared next. A creature so bizarre that it seemed to mock traditional biological classification. Mammals that laid eggs. Creatures with electrical sensing capabilities. A predator that looked like a genetic experiment gone wrong. This, Jay said, pointing to the platypus, is one of our planet's more unusual creatures. Laughter rippled through the human delegation. The aliens did not laugh. They were too busy processing the information. The presentation continued. Each new creature challenged their understanding. Each example destroyed another layer of their previous biological knowledge. Krelvor's body had shifted to a deep, almost black color, indicating a state of profound intellectual and emotional processing. Earth was not just another planet. It was a living, breathing system of continuous survival, and humanity was its most successful product. The lecture hall fell silent. Jay Park's fingers hovered over the control panel, preparing the next sequence. Predators, pure hunting machines, developed through millions of years of brutal evolution. The first image materialized. Wolves, not just individual hunters, but pack hunters with complex social structures and communication systems. Krelvor's translucent body pulsed with an intense blue color, a sign of growing anticipation and fear. The holographic display showed a wolf, pack hunting in the frozen Alaskan wilderness, temperatures far below zero, an environment that would kill most living creatures within minutes. But these wolves moved with precision, intelligence, calculation. Pack hunting is not just about strength, Jay explained. It's about strategy, communication, collective survival. The wolves tracked a moose. Each wolf had a specific role, some distracted, some circled, some prepared for the final attack. They communicated through subtle body movements, complex vocalizations that carried across miles of frozen landscape. Hana Kim adjusted the display, ensuring maximum clarity. Her eyes reflected a mix of professional detachment and hidden pride. The hunt unfolded like a military operation. Precise, brutal, efficient. Next came the great white sharks, creatures that had remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. Living fossils. Perfect killing machines. The video showed a shark breaching the ocean surface, entire body launching out of water, a move that defied expectations of marine predator behavior. Pure hunting technique transformed into explosive power. Alien representatives started to communicate among themselves. Their sensory appendages moved rapidly, processing information that challenged everything they knew about predatory behavior. A crocodile hunting sequence followed. Not just any crocodile, a massive saltwater crocodile from northern Australia. The presentation showed its hunting technique, absolute patience mixed with explosive violence. The crocodile would wait motionless for hours, days if necessary, then strike with a speed that seemed impossible for its massive size. Bite force that could crush bone like paper. Survival is not about constant movement, Jay said. It's about understanding your environment. Waiting. Calculating. Some alien students looked like they might faint. Their body structures shifted uncomfortably. The display changed again. African wild dogs. Another pack hunter with a complex social structure. Their hunting success rate exceeded 80%, higher than lions, higher than most apex predators. Each dog in the pack had a specific role. Each understood its place in the collective survival strategy. They didn't just hunt, they communicated. They planned. Krelvor's neural pathways were working overtime. The alien representative's body continued to shift colors, a complex emotional response that human researchers were still trying to understand completely. A sequence about killer whales, orcas, followed. Not just predators, intelligent hunters with complex social structures, creatures that hunted in coordinated groups, that passed knowledge between generations. They demonstrated hunting techniques that looked more like military operations than simple predatory behavior. Generating waves to wash seals off ice platforms, coordinating attacks with mathematical precision. Our planet's predators, Jay continued, do not just survive. They adapt. They learn. They evolve. The final sequence showed something unexpected. Humans. Not with technology, not with weapons, but hunting using the most primitive methods. Ancient human hunting techniques appeared. Persistence hunting. Tracking animals for days, using intelligence, endurance. Understanding animal behavior better than the animals themselves. Hana noticed. Some alien representatives were now recording everything. Emergency communication signals pulsed across the lecture hall. The presentation was no longer just a lecture. It was a revelation. About life. About survival. About Earth. The lecture hall felt different now. Something had changed. The air itself seemed charged with a new understanding. Jay Park stood quietly, watching the alien representatives process what they had witnessed. Millions of years of Earth's evolutionary history compressed into a single presentation. Krelvor's translucent body pulsed with complex color patterns, a sign of deep intellectual and emotional processing. The alien representatives' neural pathways were working at maximum capacity. We are not conquerors, Jay began softly. We are survivors. His words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. The holographic display shifted one final time. It showed human evolution, not through technological achievements, but through survival, through adaptation. Images of early human ancestors appeared. Small, weak, seemingly defenseless, surrounded by predators that could crush them in seconds. But they survived. They adapted. They learned. The display showed how humans developed complex social structures, how they used intelligence as their primary weapon, how they transformed from prey to apex predators through nothing more than understanding and collective knowledge. Our planet does not create life, Jay explained. It tests life, continuously, brutally. Hana Kim stood near the technical controls, her posture straight. Professional. She understood the deeper message being delivered. Humans were not special because of technology. They were special because of adaptability, because of an evolutionary history that demanded constant innovation to survive. The alien audience now sat in complete silence. Their previous understanding of biological life had been systematically dismantled over the past few hours. Images of human migrations appeared, small groups moving across continents, surviving ice ages, surviving environments that would kill most other species within days. We learned from our environment, Jay continued. Every challenge was a lesson, every survival a victory. Krelvor's communication translator struggled to capture the nuance of human survival strategies. How could a species so physically weak become the dominant life form on their planet? The final sequence showed something unexpected, not human technological achievements, but human compassion, cooperation, the ability to help other species survive. Wolves, rescued by humans, injured animals nursed back to health. Complex ecological restoration projects. Survival is not just about individual strength, Jay said. It's about understanding, about cooperation. The alien representatives began subtle communication exchanges. Their sensory appendages moved in complex patterns, processing the philosophical implications of what they had witnessed. Earth was not just a planet. It was a continuous testing ground, a place where life did not simply exist. It fought. It adapted. It evolved. Jay's final words echoed through the lecture hall. We are not the strongest species. We are the most adaptable. Silence followed. Then something unexpected happened. Krelvor stood, a gesture of respect in multiple galactic cultures. The other alien representatives followed. They were not applauding a technological achievement. They were acknowledging a fundamental truth about life itself. Survival was not about power. It was about adaptation, about understanding, about continuous learning. The lecture was over, but the conversation was just beginning. Humanity had surprised the galaxy once again, not with weapons, not with technology, but with the simple, brutal beauty of survival.